Hey everybody, at Ministry of Testing, this is Paul Grossman, the Dark Arts Wizard, and today I am going to be submitting a sample for a challenge for the TestBash 2022, and this is the UI challenge. Now for this challenge, it says to go to this website over here, the Shady Meadows Bed and Breakfast, and to check and see if it can validate that an admin user is unable to see and read the message in the admin portal. So in order to do that, we're going to have to send a message down here, and we want to be able to read the message over here. So that sounds pretty simple. So I'm going to show you how we solve that in TestRigger. So the first thing we want to tell you is there's interesting things to set up. I'm going to show you the test case that I wrote. And up here is, we're going to first of all set up some saved variables. You can create data over here and save it off. In this case, we're going to do something cool. We're going to, not only are we going to send that message, we're going to do a little bit more. We're actually going to create a brand new room that the person, after they've sent their message, is going to go and register for. So we've set up variables. This is just like you do in any programming language. You have variables, we just call them values. And we say save a value of twin as a room type. We've got accessibility, whether it's handicapped, room pricing, we're going to give it a price of 42 pounds. All sorts of information, including having a couple of different names in here. So this is what we're setting up our variables. Now, one thing to keep in mind is that this isn't the only place that you can set up variables. There are actually three. You could do it with test data, and you could have your name as a variable, and you could have it as a saved variable. You could have test data that is being imported with a bunch of rooms, like a whole bunch of rows of data that you have brought in. And a previous video that I've submitted had us putting in 100 different reservations all at the same time concurrently, which is pretty cool, but that's not this video. The third place that you can do this is at the top of the test case suite. You can actually add in different steps that are being added here. So this would be the equivalent of a setup, and if that's the setup, then after the test suite you have a teardown that you can do, which is pretty kind of cool. I just want to mention that just for this video, and we're going to continue on showing you what we did. The next thing is we want to do a login. Now, login what? Login, how do we know that that's a login? Interesting enough that TestRigger knows that there is a 99% chance that we're going to log in at some point, and probably to the same URL. So under my test suite details, this is where the URL where every single test starts. Yes, we can change to other places, but this is our starting point for every single one of our test cases. And secondly, we go down to settings and we go over to authorization. We also have our login. There's my admin, there's my password. This is what we're going to use to get into Festival Booker over here for the B&B booking management. And the thing is that I don't have to write any sort of, I can have reusable rules that have a whole bunch of stuff set up there, setting up information. But in this case, it's an intrinsic rule called login. Basically, we know that almost every test is going to require a login, so we can do that. Go back to editing my test case, and there it is. It's going to do the login and implicitly adds in the username and the password. And by the way, that is also then going to open up a second tab. So this first one is our administration that we're going to go log into. Our second one is our guest who goes to our guest reservation, and we're going to be switching back and forth between those two tabs so that we can complete this challenge. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to complete the contact us form by entering our full name into the name. Okay, at this point it's going to get a little boring, so I'm going to switch over to taking a look at some of the screen captures we had during our successful test run. So let's take a look at that. One of the things that TestRigger does is it combines a lot of script things together so that it gets them completed quickly. And then the last thing we see here says click login, except there's one problem. That says log with a lowercase l and a space between the IN, and this says log into your account. Didn't matter. No maintenance to fix that. It figured it out what it needed to do. So it logs into our reservation, into our reservations, and then it's going to enter in stored username and the password into our variable. And yeah, there it is. Admin username and the password is entered in there. And then the other thing I want to mention is that you have details. So what was that detail that we put in there? The username, the password. Well, the username was admin and the password was masked, because we need to have a little bit of security there. The next thing was, it said go and click on login. All right, so we clicked on the login. That's easy enough. It found that button, highlighted it in purple, and now we are over at the RESTful Booker platform, and we're ready to continue with the test, because we're now going to open a new tab and go to our automated testing online. And once that's complete, there's our Shady Meadows bed and breakfast. Our next thing is to enter in our full name into the name field. Well, there it is. My full name was Paul Grossman, and it put it into the name field. It's today. I found it over here. It does a little seeking of trying to find it. That's what the yellow is saying. I found it in this area. Now it says here, hover over email above subject. So there are two different emails. This is the tricky part of this challenge, is that if I go and book a room like this, I have actually two different fields with the same name, same identifier. Email and phone is over here, and email and phone is over here. So how are we going to handle those challenges? Well, it's pretty easy. It says hover over the email above subject. So this is my subject, and then there's an email above it, and it says, okay, yeah, that's what I'm looking for. So relative element location. We know that this is the email we're looking for, that's above subject. Even though this one is here, one is above here, this is closer in relative location to it. Next thing is we're going to hover above the email roughly near message. It's a different way of doing the exact same thing. This is our message field, and it says go find it roughly near message, and it goes and finds this. By the way, it's looking for this message. It's because I said message without anything that describes it, so it assumes it's going to be text. If I had said message field, it would use this field and still find the same element. Let's move forward a little bit. We're going to enter in the saved email below the name. So we put in email again, relative element location. This is my name, and it says, oh, you must think it's the email below that. Next, we're going to enter in the phone into the second phone. Now, that's another way we can do this, is that we can say, okay, the phone over here, that's my first one, so this one must be my second one, so that's the one that I want to interact with. Lots of different ways to find our elements when we're working with this. Let's move forward here. We're going to enter subject into subject. Well, there's only one subject field, so the subject is validate rooms, and then we're going to put in our message over there. And the message is, I want to book room at Shady Meadows Bed and Breakfast. That's the validation we want to do on the other side. All right, next, we're going to go click on submit. And pretty much we are done over there. Oh yes, we need to do a validation. Our first validation, check the page contains, thanks for getting in touch. And it says Paul Grossman. I could have validated that Paul Grossman is there with a variable in there. But also keep note is that you can validate on substrings. So you don't necessarily need to have everything in there. You can just validate a small portion of what you're looking for, highlights the element that it finds. And it says now switch to tab 1, which means we're going to go over to back to our RESTful Booker platform and do complete our validation over here. Next thing it says is click inbox icon. Now icon is a comment, so it's not executing there. It's just for clarity. All it's really saying is click on inbox, and it found the inbox over there. By the way, inbox is not the name of that element. TestRigger can find things by images. So if you say inbox, let's say over here, it looks at a whole bunch of different images and says, hey, yep, this is what I expect when I find an inbox. And that's exactly what it does in order to go and find an inbox. And it ain't full because there's already a message sitting up there. It figured it out. Now let's go on. We wanted to check the page contains the subject. Yep, validate rooms is there, and it says click saved value subject. So whatever I have the string for the subject, validate rooms, It goes and verifies that string appears on the screen, and then it goes and clicks on that screen. And the next thing it says is, this is the reservation. This is the information that came through. We need to validate that as well. We're going to hover over the message, the saved value message, which was I want to book room at Shady Meadows. Yes, it hovered over that. That's not actually a validation. We want to do this. Check the page contains the message. And there is our message, verified in green. Yeah, we found it up on the screen. And the next thing is to hover over close near the saved message. So we're going to close this by moving over that. Again, relative element location. Find the element close near the message that I was looking for. Here's close, and it finds it in this area, the yellow area. It says, yep, that's what I found. You can find elements above, below, near, roughly near. There's a lot of different ways that you can find element location just by plain English. Of course, we don't necessarily need that over here. That's just a demonstration because we just say click close. That closes out our field. And we have completed our validation, but we gotta go further, don't we? We wanna do something else. We're gonna go click on rooms up here. And then we're going to go and add ourselves a room so that our person who says they want to book a room can book a room. Here we picked up a random number generator that I mentioned at the beginning, and it combined a whole bunch of stuff in this. Our room type is now going to be a twin. We're going to select true from accessible. Enter the saved value room price. The room price is since it's a variable, we're changed it to 42. So we have that. And then we're going to click on Wi-Fi, TV, radio, all that stuff over here. And then finally, we're going to enter views in the views, and we're going to hover over the room name over here. All right, so we're hovering over the room name, and we are good to go. So we're going to continue on over here. And the next thing is we want to, of course, create that room. There's our click create. We want to verify that the room detail that we're expecting, the TV, the radio, refresh, all that stuff, appears in the room description. So we did that, easy peasy. Let's move on. We're going to go and edit that room because we want to change it a little bit. The next thing is we're going to enter in the description and say this is a really cool room, and verify that the description changed once we hit the save button. Now we're going to switch back over to our other browser. It says switch to tab 2. So we're going to go back to our guest reservation, and we're going to hover over twin. We're going to say, hey, this is my twin. This is the one that I created here because it has all the extra things, and it's a really cool room. Okay, we want to check that the page contains twin, and check the page contains wheelchair. Yes, it contains twin, it contains wheelchair, it found that, and it says make sure that the page contains a wheelchair image to the right of twin. Yep, it found it, not a big deal. Again, that image validation being found there. Oh, we want to click the book to the right of the value say room number. So we don't want to click this one over here. We want to click this one. So it says, oh, the room number? Yeah, even though you can't see the room number, it's in the DOM. So it figures out, oh, this is the one that you want because this has got a room number embedded inside of it behind the scenes, and you want to click on the book this room. Also notice, I only said book. You didn't have to say book this room. It figured out that, oh, that's the one that you want. So we're going to go and book that room. Now we're going to go through and say, hey, I want to drag from 12 to 16 to book a bunch of a reservation with a bunch of days over here. So there it is. It found 12, it found 16, and it's going to say, hey, I'm going to go do a drag on that. And look at that. It says it dragged it out there. It says next thing is enter in my detail. All right, the detail is first name, populate the last name, put in my email, and put in my phone number, and also verify the amount that we got over there. It's 4 nights for 168. You know, that's 4 times 42 is 168. It goes, yep, I found it. 4 nights, 168. Yes, Test Rigger can do math. So that's pretty cool. Next thing we're going to go on is going to click on book. All right, there's book over there. And we have a successful booking. Congratulations. Verified the page contains success. Yes, it did have the word success. Let's move on. We've booked that room. And let's click close on that. And switch over back to our reservations. We want to click on report in the upper left-hand corner. And this gives us our report. We can see that Paul Grossman has reserved room 5458. And we have also verified the page contains a saved value room number. We are validating that. And we are also going to do something else. We're going to go and create a reservation from this side. So we're going to drag from 18 to 21. There's our drag. Okay. The next thing is we want to enter saved value first name admin. So we're using an admin's name. Elvis Costello is our admin. And we're going to put in the first name. We're going to enter in his last name into the last name field. We are going to select room number 458 from the room, and then select true from the deposit paid. And the last thing, we're going to click on book. All of that done in one shot, and then click on rooms. And the next thing we want to do is go to click on our saved value rooms. Here's our room that's over here, and we're going to go and click on that room, and here's our room type over here. Okay, we verified that there's a room type. We want to click on the last saved name, which is, we want to click on Costello, who's the person that there. I don't want to do my reservation. I want to do the one that I just created, Mr. Costello. All right, it says click on the second pencil. That's the first pencil, and that's the second pencil, and I found that pencil icon over there. Yeah, we use the word icon, so it says, oh yeah, this is the icon, second pencil icon. We are good to go. Now, next we're going to go and change the name from Elvis Costello to Elvis Presley. Elvis Presley's name has now been put in there. Now we're going to click on confirm, which is in this checkbox. Now, that is the name of the element behind the scenes, confirmed. So I had to go look at that. That one found it by the element. Again, no XPath, no CSS for all these elements out there. I want to verify that the name was changed. Yep, Presley is continued over there. And guess what? That is the end of our demo. One last thing we got to do is show you what this looks like when it is run. Wouldn't it be great if we had a video of this? Well, guess what? I'm going to go click on this play video over here, and we're going to go watch this execute. Here we are logging in on our first page, admin, with the password. Clicking on login. Then we switch back over to our the reservation, the bed and breakfast. Enter in my first name, and then we're going to put in the email, the phone, the subject, and of course the message that we want to do, and click on submit. Then we're going to go and switch back over and go verify that my name and the message appeared. And then we're going to go and create that brand new room for 42 pounds, add in all the features, click on create, and also change it to be a really cool room. And then next go over and find that really cool room and book that room, and book it for the 12th through the 16th. And verify that that reservation was in there. Put in my information, my name and my email, my phone number, and click and verify that the reservation was confirmed. And then switch back over to the admin site, verify that the reservation was made. Now make a second reservation as an admin, going from the 18th to the 21st. Put in Elvis Costello, the room number, and then go back over to our room and verify that we are going to be able to change the name from Elvis Costello to Elvis Presley. Test is done. Hey everybody, I'm Paul Grossman, the Dark Arts Wizard. I don't have to spend a whole lot of time maintaining my tests. I don't have to spend a whole lot of time trying to write CSS and XPaths. Yes, I am a developer. Yes, I do work in Java, in C#, in C++, in VB Script, and a whole bunch of different tools. But I like codeless test automation. I hope you do too. And have yourself a great day.